Alright guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to finish setting stuff up here and then we will get to it. I don't know why I didn't play the intro, but we're going to do this all over again. We'll get the intro through here and then we'll be ready. Or not, apparently. I don't know. Like I said, technical difficulties. Give me 1 second.
Fade in.
I need a username. And I have a great one. Little Kid Lover. That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
By the way, he gave me permission to touch him.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
No, God! You shout like that, they put you in jail. Right away. No, God, please, no! 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 No trial, no nothing.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists.
How dare you!
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
Serious crap!
Any diverse woman in it, make it gay!
This is the first time that we see a woman, and the first time that we see a black woman in this area, in this world.
But Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck baby deer, put a chick in it, make her gay!
I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current date us!
Sexism in gaming.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
If I had a gun with 2 bullets and I was in a room with Hitler, Bin Laden, and Toby, I would shoot Toby twice.
No. That's
okay,
you were
all right.
being really funny and then you went too far.
It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Nick.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You keep doing that, no one up here is gonna call you Donald Trump anymore. We're gonna call you Donald Duck.
Weird.
Fuck.
Are these proof of extraterrestrial life? The alleged remains of non-human beings were displayed in Mexico during its first congressional hearing on UFOs.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
You serious?
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace!
Actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas. Someone should bomb that building.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring? No, in real life.
All right, thank you guys for being here. Officially stream number 2 of this series. Now again, I have been so freaking busy, under the weather, dealing with work, working through the week, 7 days a week, and things are finally kind of quieted down for me a little bit here, so I figured, hey, there's been too much not to talk about. So, that being said, we are currently streaming on Rumble, we are on X, we are on YouTube. I think that's all. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna keep it to those 3 platforms, to be honest. I don't really feel like dealing with streaming to Twitch, especially given the topic we're going to talk about right now. I still use Twitch for gaming. Typically that's all I use it for. So for the meantime, you can find the stream on Rumble, on Twitter, or X if you want to call it that. I'm still having a hard time calling it X, I'm not gonna lie. It's something about it just seems unnatural to me. And then of course on YouTube, and I'll try to be YouTube friendly. I know that definitely some of the topics we're going to cover are going to be kind of skirting the issue or skirting the line about what we can talk about on YouTube. That being said, we're going to dive into it. I'm sure most of you have heard about this first topic. If not, just a little bit of a warning. It's not like not safe for work, clearly, because we're streaming on YouTube and all that, but it is probably more than you want to see. So just keep that in mind. So what we're talking about now is this this new Twitch meta that has already resulted in people getting banned, and doesn't happen very often. It's kind of crazy, honestly. Oh, hang on, Norton's being a pain in the ass. Typically on, well, definitely on Twitch, there's definitely not an even enforcement of rules. Seems like a lot of times what we see on Twitch is that certain types of streamers, and again, being primarily women, and this is just going to sound a little sexist right now, but it's true. If you look at the top earners on Twitch, typically it's like 95 guys to 5 women. Unfortunately, the majority of women who are in the top 100 do it simply to promote their OnlyFans. That's not to say that there's not girl gamers and not girl entertainers on Twitch that aren't entertaining. I'm sure there are plenty of them. I have friends that are a few of them that are pretty, entertaining people. And they don't do any of that OnlyFans stuff. But Twitch definitely has a long history and a track record of being like a funnel to OnlyFans or any other cam sites you can think of. And the thing that got my brain going was somebody had made a comment about basically the whole protect the children thing, right? And as a parent, my first initial thought was, well, if you want to protect the children, don't let them on Twitch. I mean, as a dad who's got kids that are starting to get closer to that teenage age bracket, my first thought was simply just don't let them use the app. Don't let them use the site. Seems kind of weird, especially since it's a video game streaming platform. Seems kind of a counterintuitive notion, but even like, YouTube Kids has plenty of stuff that isn't kid-friendly. I mean, let's be honest about it. There's tons of stuff on there that is not appropriate for children, and even though it's pushed to a child's, to their feed through their algorithm, just because it says kids on it doesn't mean it's child-friendly. That's a given. So what we're seeing now on Twitch is worse than what we've typically seen in the past, where now you have these streamers who are straight up going topless, and again, we have the video. I don't know. She got banned on Twitch for this, okay? So I'm really worried about how much of this I can play on YouTube. There's no actual nipple showing. There's no nudity per se. But what you see here, in fact, we'll just play it on here, is a lot of oiled up, jiggling, topless boobs that are just kind of covered right above the nipple. So this started like a trend among these women where basically it was the new meta, as they call it, the new thing that everybody's doing for attention, for clicks, to get to the front page. And believe it or not, for anybody saying that Twitch is intended for children, these are the people they put on the front page. I could go to Twitch. In fact, let me do this while we're doing this. I want to do this live because I'm very curious to see who is on the front page of Twitch right now. Ah, look at that. Okay, so not even kidding. You go to Twitch right now. On the live channels we think you'll like, and keep in mind, I don't go to any just chatting categories on Twitch. I do not watch ASMR streamers. I do not watch hot tub streamers. I do not watch IRL streamers. For some reason, Asian Bunny X with her topless stream is at the front of the things that they think I'd like on Twitch. Now, imagine this is some kid, 13, 14, 15 years old, and this is the first thing they see. And again, I'm aware of the fact that OnlyFans, all those other websites are restricted 18 and up, 21 and up. I get that, okay? That doesn't mean that these kids aren't being exposed or groomed on this website here. And I guess that was the best argument I saw, because honestly, I was like, well, again, just don't let your kids use Twitch. But at the same time, you have to accept the fact that there are a large percentage of, I think the main user base is 16 to 24. People that are legally minors. So this is the first thing they're greeted with on Twitch, okay? Makes me, honestly, it really makes me want to consider no longer even using Twitch. And I've been on Twitch now for 4 years. I only stream to it once in a while. Again, it's if I'm playing a freaking game. Like, I just don't care. It's not a focus. I don't really worry about my Twitch presence at all. But, even being on there makes me quite... Kick is the same way, too. Don't get me wrong. Kick is no better than Twitch. Kick is actually... Twitch because they're Twitch with worse enforcement. Like, there's like no enforcement on Kick. So yeah, this is what you're seeing. And again, she's been banned for this now. So the person that did this has been banned. Okay, great, whatever. But there's a million more like her. And as this continues, this is the stuff that'll happen. And look, Amaranth, who famously went from Twitch to Kick, she got banned for this kind of stuff all the time. In fact, back in September of this year, after she made the switch to Kick, she was interviewed about this, and she basically said, oh yeah, getting banned is a great marketing tactic. Because, first of all, she knows that none of these people will ever face a lifetime ban. In fact, in recent months, Twitch has actually come out and said that they're looking to reverse permanent bans based on the fact that they're losing too much their competition Kick. They're losing too many streamers over there, or people that are just switching to Rumble, YouTube. I know DLive is still a thing. I don't know how big of a thing it is for most people, but there's plenty of competitors out there. And so yeah, basically you got Amaranth here telling people, hey, you know what? In fact, this is an interview she did with The Quarter, and she says it can be a great marketing strategy. The only thing that can be negative is the duration. I've never tried to get banned on purpose. I just feel like it's too risky, and you never know what they're going to decide to hit you with, a 7-day or a 30-day ban. Hey, Hunter. No, I'm not hot. I'm warm. The kids had the heater running in the house all day, so I'm very warm. Amaranth then provided an example of a streamer who accidentally left their streaming camera on while having sex with their partner. That was not an accident. That chick, I did a video on her like 6 or 8 months ago. That was not an accident. That chick, it was during her stream. Like, give me a break. She was trying to be sneaky about it. So yeah, that's what this leads to. So all these children, this generation that have been brainwashed into thinking this kind of crap is normal. I saw this, about a week ago now? And this is the most disturbing, depraved thing you'll ever see. The man who spent $40,000 to meet Ruby Rose, his OnlyFans girlfriend, the woman that he apparently is so obsessed with that he'd send her these kind of text messages. Where is this at? I thought she had the text messages on here. What? Oh, I know what you meant. I appreciate it, dude. I'm so confused. Where were the tweets at? So she has him saved in her phone as, what's his name? Where is the dude's name at? Brandon? Do they not have his name on here? So confused. A guy. So they didn't even say his name in this article, but he's on Twitter. Anyways, so she has this dude saved in her phone as creepy Instagram or a creepy OnlyFans fan. And honestly, the guy sent her like 10 Bitcoin, whatever it was at the time. It added up to like $40,000. It probably wasn't Bitcoin then, because Bitcoin's higher than that. Unless he had 10, like it was like a tenth of a thing. I don't know. Regardless, he sent her 40 grand just to talk to him. Okay, this girl makes $48 million in OnlyFans in less than a year. From dudes like this, guys who are so lonely and pitiful, they can't even have normal relationships, but they send this. How did he get this much money? Apparently he's like, he has a hat on that says like I retired Iraq war veteran or something. I don't know. It's unreal. But yeah, this is what it eventually leads to. So the argument that, allowing this kind of stuff on Twitch, I mean, I get it. I don't think Twitch should allow it. I don't really want them to make like a Twitch After Dark website. But at the same time, how are you going to police it? It's like you have to be the one to keep track of what your kids are doing. That's what it ultimately comes down to. Yeah, you could say, okay, put tougher restrictions on Twitch, actually uphold their terms of service, make stricter terms of service. All that stuff's well and good. But we've seen Amazon will not make Twitch enforce their own terms. They just don't. And every time they do, it's like, it's not fair the way that they do it. One person could get a week ban or a suspension for the most minute thing, saying the wrong word or some shit. So it's just unfair. And honestly, I've seen people like Keffels of all people, having a not unhinged response to this. They said a lot of people are responding to this saying people just hate women, but I think it's not unreasonable to be grossed out at people who are essentially doing softcore porn on a site that is predominantly used by children. Funny to see Keffels defending the children. That's where I quote tweeted this. I was like, if Uncle Frank says no, it must be really bad. They even have like these what do they call it? The virtual, the avatar ones. Why can't I think of the name? Oh my god, what do they call them? VTubers. Even have VTubers doing this crap now. Unreal. I don't know. I just know that Twitch is a dumpster fire. Like, I thought Kick was going to be better. Honestly, I thought Kick would be a better option. Joined it. I multi-streamed to Kick. There's zero visibility. There's actually worse. The depravity on Kick is worse than Twitch because they don't even enforce half the crap that goes on in there. It's just disgusting. Where's my Alex Jones stuff? Oh, I put Alex Jones at the end. Shame on me. Where are we at here? All right, let's get some. Let's talk about Alex. So from CNBC, Elon Musk reactivates Alex Jones' X account after a 5-year ban. I can't believe he was gone for 5 years. That's a crazy, ridiculous amount of time. So, ironically, side note, I'm not an Elon Musk fan. I have a lot of issues with the dude. I don't trust him. I don't like the whole microchip in the brain thing. There's a lot of things about Elon that I just don't like, okay? I'm straight up honest about it. I don't trust the guy. I do think he has done some good things. It's kind of how I feel about Trump. I'm voting for Trump, but that doesn't mean that I love the guy. It's like be very cautious of these people who you choose to idolize. That being said, the other day, the day they unbanned Alex, I was like, what the hell? So I have 2 Twitter accounts. My original one, my first Twitter account when I came back to Twitter after they nuked Parler. So I made a new account. I had it for like a couple of years, and that one got banned. My backup that I already had made is the one that I predominantly use now. He's too autistic for his own good. That could be true. So my original Twitter account got banned for something I said about that kid, Mizzy, the British kid that's like walking into people's houses and crap. I made some hyperbolic statement. I got banned permanently, could never get my account back. So I decided to use my second account as my main account. After about like 2 months, that one got banned for a meme. So both accounts nuked for the violent content policy breach, when the reality is neither one violated the violent content policy. So after 16 days, 300 emails, so, whatever, I got that account back. My original one stayed suspended, right? So I quit trying to appeal it. I'm like, look, the account I paid for Twitter Premium, X Premium, I got that account back. No big deal. So I'll let the other one go. It's fine. So just for the hell of it, the day they unbanned Alex Jones, I get onto my old account, I file an appeal, shoot it off. Within 10 minutes, I got my first account back. So now I'm like, okay, I don't want to love Elon Musk. I don't want to be like singing his praises and stuff, but I hate him a little less now. I definitely like him a little bit more, because now it's like, okay, are they going to start rolling back everybody who's been unfairly suspended? Are we going to see people like Camelot, who's a YouTuber that's been suspended now for, I think, over a month? He lost his account for retweeting or commenting on an article. And it's like, it's insane. The amount of people who have been wrongfully suspended and banned after Elon took over because of the violent content policy they put in place to keep the advertisers around has unfortunately resulted in more people getting suspended after Elon Musk than before. Because look, I had my account locked a few times before Elon Musk bought Twitter. I was always able to get it back. I was always, after a timeout, delete the tweet, whatever. I never actually got a permanent ban until after Elon bought Twitter. So again, I was not the biggest fan. Now I'm going, okay, if they're going to start rolling all this crap back, I'm here for it. That's great. That's awesome to see. But again, fingers crossed, hopefully we start to see more of this kind of stuff. With Alex Jones coming back, I'm not even a big fan of his. It's just, he says funny stuff from time to time. It is a step in the right direction, in my opinion. So let's look at how CNBC paints this, all right? Because there's a few unhinged takes from different people on Twitter after he came back. I know there's probably thousands of them, but there's too many for me to spend any more time digging through. I had no time to prepare tonight. I've got a bunch of tabs open. They're all out of order. I hadn't streamed in like a month, so that's why everything is so scattered. I'm like, okay, I got the kids in bed, sat down, have 5 minutes before I turn the stream on late. That's why everything's out of order. All right, so it says, Jones was banned from the platform in 2018 for violating Twitter's abusive behavior policy as he faced a lawsuit for sprouting, false conspiracy theories about the Sandy Hook. Yeah, we all know why. Musk had previously pledged not to allow him back. You know, I've heard about the Alex Jones video game. I don't know. Like, I also heard some people got suspended or got their videos taken down for playing the game. So that would concern me. Like, if I want to survive on YouTube, I got to be careful what I do. It says, Elon Musk on Sunday reinstated the account of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones on X, formerly Twitter, reneging on a year-ago vow to keep Jones off the social network. Jones was previously suspended from Twitter in 2018 for violating the company's abusive behavior policy. That suspension, deemed permanent under the company's prior management, came as Jones faced a defamation lawsuit for spreading the false claim that the Sandy Hook, yeah, we know. Musk's decision to bring Jones back to X comes on the anniversary week of the shooting. Although 20 children and 6 educators were killed by gunmen, Jones had falsely and repeatedly said on his show, we all know why he was banned. Come on, we don't need to rehash the entire thing. InfoWars still appeared to be banned from X as of Sunday. Well, InfoWars is now back as well. They're not discoverable, I'm pretty sure. I think you have to go looking for them, but they do, their Twitter account is back up and running. So it's not just Alex, it's InfoWars. Owen Schroyer, the guy that just got out of jail because of the whole J6 stuff, is back on Twitter now. Now, I don't know if he was actually suspended from Twitter, though, but he is back on Twitter. It says, believers in Jones' blatantly false claims have gone to harass and threaten bereft family members, in some cases physically confronting and accusing grieving parents of being crisis actors. See, here's the thing. They are punishing Alex Jones for people acting crazy due to things he said. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it does seem weird that that'd be like if you decide, hey, I'm going to say that all vanilla ice cream comes from cow farts, you know? And people believed you and started going like aggressively after the ice cream companies or the grocery store and harassing courtesy clerks or whatever because of the ice cream. It's like, at some point, aren't people accountable for their own actions? This is that whole thing about, can words actually create, like, is incitement to violence really a thing? It's like, do words create violence, or do people who commit violent acts need to be accountable on their own? I lean more heavily on the personal accountability side. So for me, it's a lot of gray area. Some of those targeted had to move from their homes. Yep. This is all just rehashing old information. Elon said that since this platform aspires to be the global town square, permanent bans should be extremely rare. And again, he had made an exception for that before because something about how his newborn died in his arms, and so he had a personal axe to grind with Elon, I guess. I don't know. Musk confirmed the reinstatement and said that he cannot break the law, but that if he does spread misinformation, X's community notes feature will correct him. I mean, that's the thing. You got community notes to keep anybody in line. Sometimes community notes gets weaponized. Sometimes it's wrong. It just depends on who's using it. So yeah, I mean, he's back. Honestly, the worst part of it, though, is that it doesn't even look like he's tweeting himself. It looks like somebody's running his account for him. But this lunatic, David Levitt, if you guys don't know who this is, he's the guy that created that girl, Target Tori, I think her name was. Terry or Tori or whatever. The girl that got harassed by a journalist because a toothbrush was like marked 1 penny because they had to have a price on it for inventory. And so this dude harassed her into trying to sell it to him for a penny, whatever. The guy's an asshole. And so he's on here after Elon reinstates Alex, going, how many innocent people will be murdered because Elon Musk allowed Alex Jones back in Twitter? And then he went on to like double down and say, do you hear that? It's the sound of countless sexists and racists gagging on Elon Musk and Alex Jones' micro penis. So not only do they both have a micro penis, apparently they share one. And apparently somehow David knows what size their junk is. I love that that's the thing. It's always, oh, look at your giant car. Look at your oh, you've got a gun collection. Oh, clearly you're not packing. Piers Morgan even has been freaking out about it, saying Alex Jones cares so much about free speech that he wanted me to deported for expressing mine. It's a big mistake to let him back on here, Elon Musk. You were right the first time about him. It's like, okay, first off, saying he wants you deported, that's funny. I'm sorry. Piers Morgan is an absolute prick and a half. The guy is not as smart as he thinks he is. And so anything that he says about anything, I'm just going to go, whatever, dude. But yeah, Piers Morgan, he's been having a bit of a meltdown. He's currently suffering from the Rona for like the 3rd or 4th time, even though he's like jabbed up the ass. So, you know, thoughts and prayers for Piers, apparently. Let's move on because Alex Jones, honestly, this is old news. I just thought we should recap it because, again, this is all stuff that's happened over the weekend since the last 24, 36, 72 hours, just to kind of do a little rapid fire on some of this stuff. Now let's talk about Doctor Who. Okay, so disclaimer, I know nothing about Doctor Who short of what I've been short of what I've seen with my own two eyes on social media, trending around the clips, the little snippets that have come out of the specials, I know a little bit about the lore, tiny bit, okay, a smidge. And as much as I know about it, it seems like the show has always been pretty progressive, pretty left-leaning, pretty liberal, but I'm talking like, 80s and 90s liberal, not like current day, worship the new thing, the new world religion kind of liberal. So the idea behind the Doctor dying and regenerating allows for them to put a new actor in when the other one gets too old or just gets too boring. They got to swap him out. It's a really smart way to do things, right? It's a great way to kind of like refresh things, reboot things. It's what Marvel wishes they could do, or is trying to do, by replacing like Iron Man with Ironheart and Echo instead of, I guess Echo's not replacing Hawkeye. Hawkeye's the other girl, Kate Bishop's replacing Hawkeye. So either way, they're trying to replace all the current characters with the characters nobody likes. Eventually, I think what we see here with Doctor Who is they've gotten to this point where, because of the progressive mindset, they didn't just get like somebody who's not a white British guy. So they get a guy who's from Ireland, not ethnically, but, he's an Irish citizen. But he's, black, non-binary, gender fluid, whatever his proclivities are. He walks around wearing a skirt or whatever. And again, I don't watch it, so I'm not really that bothered by it. It's easy for me because I don't know anything about Doctor Who aside from the things I've read and the things I've seen on Twitter. But it sure looks like this special where they brought back David Tennant, who's one of the more popular ones as far as I've been told. Again, I'm going off the word of people who are Doctor Who fans. And they're replacing him or moving on from him with this guy, Ncuti Gatwa, I think his name is. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Again, the idea being when one Doctor dies, the Time Lord, he dies, it basically creates another one. And so that person then continues, different body, different appearance, but same guy, basically. So now they're saying that supposedly, the female Doctor. What was her name, the actress? All I know is, okay, this is when I started paying attention. A couple years ago, they were talking about, is her name Jodie Whittaker? I think it is. That when she came on, basically it destroyed it for everybody else. Because it wasn't just, okay, now it's a woman. It came with all the baggage that the modern woke feminist crap goes with it, right? It's all the same junk. The same crap packaged into a new character. So again, this isn't me like crapping on Doctor Who. To me, it all seems kind of goofy. Yeah, Jodie Whittaker. But again, I like a lot of goofy stuff too. If you like Doctor Who, I'm like, that's fine. It's like people who like Godzilla. Godzilla is a goofy idea. That doesn't mean I don't want to go see the new Godzilla movie because it looks freaking awesome. It does. It looks great. But you have to accept that some of these things, even like Star Wars, has goofy parts. I'm okay with that. So for me, Doctor Who, it looks kind of goofy, but whatever. If you like it, great. And I'm sure it has great parts. I saw some clips, some snippets of one of them. I think it was the guy before David Tennant. And it looked really interesting. For me, it's like really hard to get into a series that goes back, 60 years that I've never watched before. It seems really daunting. Maybe like me, who doesn't even watch anime, trying to go back and read all the One Piece comics or manga, whatever they call One Piece. It's like, I couldn't. I'd probably have an easier time watching the anime than trying to read all of it, because that would just take way too long. So the part that I found absolutely cringeworthy is, I don't know if I actually have, I want to try to pause at the right time. So they kill him here, and he splits out of the guy David Tennant, right? Where are we at here? Of course, now my internet's being crap. My internet has been insanely weird the last few days. Normally my internet's great, but now it's being weird. Let me try refreshing this. Okay, yeah, so he splits out of the other Doctor right here. And this look on his face, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the way he's looking at him this whole time, and this man is not wearing any pants, okay? I don't know why. Maybe you can, hey Hunter, can you explain this to me? Why doesn't he have pants on? It's like this look right here. He's looking at him like a piece of eye candy. You know, David Tennant's all confused. He's like totally weirded out by this, right? There's old Who and new Who. When it came back after it stopped in the 80s, most modern Doctor Who fans have only seen New Who, which is like from 05, 06 forward. Oh, so this is season 13 of New Who. So hang on a second. How many Doctors have they had since 05? That seems like a lot of switching. I was wondering why this guy, David Tennant, didn't look that old, because clearly if that's only been 05, that's less than 20 years. But why does this man, he's got a shirt, his tie is untied. He's got socks and shoes on, right? But look at this, the heavy breathing and stuff, and the way he's got like this smoldering, sultry way of looking at him. I'm like, okay, if I were this dude over here, although they've alluded to him being gay now, apparently. Supposedly in a scene when he was talking to the other chick, Rose or whatever her name is, they were alluding to him being bi or gay or something. So apparently that's the thing. And look, I get it. Doctor Who, at least the new Doctor Who, is pretty liberal. Okay, so you have a gay character or whatever. Nobody ever talked about it before. I don't know if that's a culture war thing or if that's a nobody cared. He'd be the sixth actor. Okay. I don't know, man. If I were standing this close to a guy with no pants on and he was looking at me like this, I'd be freaked out. Like if some dude in the gym, in the locker room was just wearing a towel looking at me like that, I'd be running. I'd be going the other direction. 13 or 14 overall time. Okay. I got you. Dude, have you seen the Goblin song now? Okay, so they had this little snippet for the Christmas special featuring this guy. And now they've got this song. In fact, I'm going to... I don't know. You think they're going to copyright claim it? It's from the BBC, so God only knows. I know that they tend to copyright claim stuff. We'll play a tiny little bits and pieces of it. Basically, it's a bunch of goblins singing about eating a baby. Say how like they can make baby butter for their baby scones. And at first I was thinking that the goblins didn't look terrible, but honestly, dude, it's bad. So they've got this baby on a conveyor belt, and then they got this Goblin King guy, okay? So the whole point is that all these, there's like 500 goblins. But yeah, it's just, I don't understand it. Maybe it's because I never watched the show. I don't get the appeal of what I'm seeing though, so maybe I'd have to go back before like 05 and watch the original. It could be one of those things that's heavily dated. I don't even care. Like, I still watch shows and movies that are 20, 30, 40 years old. They don't bother me. Like, that's the stuff I grew up on. Previously, regeneration was the old body being overtaken by light, and then the new actor appears. So they decided to do the regeneration thing where he splits off of him because apparently, I don't know if you knew this or not, the concept is they want to make a Whoverse or a Whoniverse where they basically have different characters existing within a multiverse of Doctor Who's. Whereas the bi-generation shit they've just made up, yeah. They want to be able to have like, you know how Marvel and DC are milking the multiverse for all they can? And how Star Wars, I feel like Star Wars is going that same direction. Because again, I did not make myself watch Ahsoka. I was not about to do it. This show looked so freaking boring. I could not commit to watching that. But it seems like Ahsoka, the Veil of the Force, the World Between Worlds, the time space paradox thing, it seems like they're just trying to create their own multiverse as well, so that they can just kind of fall back on, oh, well, see, it's like Halo, where the Paramount thing where they had the silver timeline. It's okay that it's not Halo that you played in the video games, because this is just the silver version, the silver timeline of Master Chief in Halo. It's like an easy way out. They can't commit to a show because they know the show sucks. And so instead they go, no. It's not just the only version of this. There's a multiverse. So if you don't like this version, come back for the next one. We're sure you'll like that one, right? Because if this one didn't suck bad enough, you've got to love the next one. That's just so stupid. Speaking of stupid, dude, what the hell is with gaming this year? So, I know you've been playing a lot of, what is that shooter you play? Counter-Strike? I can't remember the name of it. One of those sweaty FPS competitive shooters. But so this year we've seen freaking King Kong, a game that I'm positive was a scam. Looks like god-awful. The only benefit to it is I think it was like $20, and nobody with a brain would have bought it. But the game looked absolutely like dreadful. Looked horrible. Before that, we had the whole Gollum game, where the game was so bad the developers actually shut the whole their entire studio down, which is sad because like Embracer Group, who owns a ton of shit, they shut down New World Interactive, I think they're called, who runs Insurgency, which I am so bummed about. Counter-Strike 2, okay. First 3 actors in New Who, which is up through season 7, really solid sci-fi television. Fourth guy before the chick, that's when the show started to fall off. Okay. Yeah, I own Counter-Strike 2 because it was free, and so I downloaded it. No, I didn't download it yet. I claimed it on Steam. You have a skins addiction? Dude, that's what everybody plays those games for the skins. It's unreal. I get it. That's how I was when I was playing Apex and actually gave a crap about it. Because then I had the battle pass and I made sure to max out my battle pass so I'd get the free battle pass the next season and on and on and on and on. Eventually the game got to where it was so just progressively woke and everything was like pushing the ideology and crap, and the gameplay changed and they changed the guns, they nerfed the gameplay, and they kept creating like more messes than fixes. And I got to the point where Apex Legends, I was like, this is not the game it started as. When they first started with 9 characters and it was gritty and it was way more like Titanfall, that was fine. Then it was like they started going Fortnite on their ass, and I was like, I'm done. But yeah, I get it. I have so many skins on my Xbox for my Apex account, like hundreds of them. So I get the addiction. I understand it. But yeah, that time for me has come and gone. I'm kind of over Apex. Oh no, trust me, I know that they have real world economy. So the people sell that shit. Was it Dr. Disrespect that bought a? No, he didn't buy one. He opened like a loot box and got a $30,000 cosmetic in Counter-Strike. Like that man needs more money, right? It's unreal. You have a $1,000 collection with people with millions. Yeah, exactly. It's unreal the amount of money. So let's talk about a not so great game, a bona fide scam. Have you been paying attention to all this stuff, Hunter? Have you seen this stuff about the day before? Now the funny thing is, I had never heard of the day before. I'm not even a big zombie game fan. Like a couple of Resident Evils. I've played, haven't played DayZ yet. I was looking at DayZ. I was really interested in it. Like it's been on sale a few times and I just haven't bought it. There's a few zombie games I've played. They just kind of get repetitive and boring. I played some like monster games. They're pretty fun. So I saw a video about this about 2 months ago, talking about how everybody had wishlisted this game and they kept changing their story and they kept pushing back the release date. And so be careful because this game is likely a scam. And the funny thing is this game had so many people standing for it going, oh no, it's not a scam. This game's going to be legit. You just wait and see. You're just being cynical. And this game went on to be like the biggest scam ever. So apparently now, after everyone paid $40 for the game, played it for like a few hours, discovered it was dog shit, not complete, buggy as hell, not the way they advertised it. It's not just the fact that it was a buggy mess. It was the fact that they didn't even have elements in the game that they had promised people. Like they legitimately screwed people over by promising them something in their YouTube videos and their trailers, in everything, in all their advertising and the way that they tagged their videos. And then when the game came out, people were like, what the hell is this, right? It was one of those things where it was a complete rug pull bait, like a bait and switch. And so, yeah, the developers 4 days ago, game releases, and they're like, oh, just please don't call it a scam. We're not just reusing assets from Unreal Engine. We've created all this stuff, and it's a real game, and stop being so cynical, right? And then they released this freaking statement here. It says, today we announced the closure of Fantastic Studio, Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. The funny thing is, they say they failed financially like 2 days after the game released, despite the fact that they've made, not made, they had sales of more than $1 million. Because if you just do the math based on the fact that they had like 38,000 concurrent people playing it, you can be sure it was probably closer to 50, 60, 70,000 people that bought it. For $40 a pop, you're talking a couple $1 million, right? I'm not doing the math wrong. I'm pretty sure it's like 1 to 2 million easily. Not to mention, their investors would not just tell them, okay, we invested 5 years worth of money and time and paying employees. Just close the studio now that we're having sales before we even get a chance to fix it. These guys are probably screwing over the investors too. They're not just doing this. Wait, the cycle shut down? How did I not hear this? Wait, shut down completely? Dude, I did not know that. I think I still have it in my Steam library. Hang on a second. Where is the cycle? The cycle frontier. We will close down our servers on September 27th. After that, the game won't be accessible anymore. How did I miss that? Did you tell me about that? Maybe we weren't talking much that time. I remember we hadn't caught up for a while. Dude, oh man. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, while we're on this topic, did you ever hear about, you probably didn't, did you ever hear about a game called Hyenas? Did you ever hear about that? Because I signed up for the alpha on that game. I want to say it was earlier this year. Yeah, it was definitely earlier this year. It was sometime during the winter, so probably almost a year ago now. And I signed up for the alpha. And that was in our down period, yeah. That's definitely got to be when it was, because I never even heard about that. Okay, so Hyenas, all right? Picture this. Imagine Marauders or Escape from Tarkov with a goofier Fortnite aesthetic with decent gunplay, but not really much in the way of customization for guns. And all the characters are eccentric, like exaggerated, like there's a drag queen. There's diversity, of course, which is fine. Diversity for just on its own is not a big deal. But it was like, you could tell there was like, we want one brown, one Asian, one Mexican, one white, one non-binary, one autistic. Like they were going like all out. So Hyenas was going to be an extraction shooter, up to 3 players on a team, very similar to Marauders, but Marauders has a great aesthetic. This game was going to have that Fortnite vomit all over it. Plus all the diversity, plus all that crap, right? You're on the site? Yeah. So, I downloaded the alpha, I did the tutorial, and again, I wasn't allowed to talk about it at the time because they hold this this NDA and all that crap. So, I did the tutorial, and I did a live match. And I looked at the character selections, and I could pick from 5 characters, and one of them was a drag queen. I played through 1 round, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. They kept email. There's a Sonic astronaut furry character. Okay, yeah. So I'm not kidding. When I say this thing was like progressive as hell, it was massively progressive. And so I played 1 round, uninstalled the damn thing, and they kept emailing me, asking me for info, asking me for updates, asking me for how did you like it? What did you think? Give us feedback. I said, fuck it. I didn't even ever respond. I'm not playing this thing anymore. This is garbage. It wasn't just the characters. The game wasn't interesting, okay? So apparently, Sega spent $70 million on that game. $70 million. And then recently, they completely shut it down, pulled the plug. So apparently I was right, because everyone else thought it was crap too. But Sega invested $70 million in that game and then pulled it before they even launched it. After, I'm sure everybody else who played the alpha was like, dude, what the hell is this? Like, honestly, what the hell is this? It wasn't the worst game I ever played, but like I said, imagine a game like Marauders that has a great aesthetic. You know, more rustic, like 1940s kind of weaponry, but in space and much more mechanical. Not like cyberpunk, but you know, kind of a cool blend of extraction shooters. And this game took that concept and Fortnited the hell out of it, but to a goofy extreme. Thing was terrible. So all that to say, there's no way that these guys, after launching the game, that the investors told them to shut down their studio. Their investors didn't say, oh no, you didn't bring in enough money in the first 24 hours, we got to shut this down. These dudes are probably screwing the investors. And what I want to know, what I want to see in the future, like in the next few days about what happens with this is, okay, these guys had their money, they got paid, they got their investors to chip in so they could fund their game. They claim that they didn't take any public money. There was no pre-sale, there was no early access. They were literally, you can buy the game at launch and play it. So to be fair, that's one good thing in their favor. However, they took $40 from all their customers. There's no telling how much money they got from their investors. Who refunds everybody? Well, Steam does. So Steam is going to have to refund all these people because Steam has now pulled the game from their store. So when Steam sends everybody back their $40, if it's 60,000 people times $40, do the math, that's a lot of money. How does Steam get their money back? Well, you would assume they get their money back from the developers, from whoever it was that they've sent the money to in the first place. But if they shut the company down and these guys all ditch and run with the money, how does Steam get their money back? So Steam is going to be at risk probably at losing $1 million on this thing. Not to mention, they pay employees and all this stuff to handle this crap, and this is just a complete, I don't know, dude. This is like a complete disaster. Crazy shit. Absolutely bonkers. And so, this is funny. This open hand charity, I don't know if you heard about that mess. Gerard, the completionist, the dude that worked with Frost on G4, he's claiming he's going to sue Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers because of the fact that they investigated his charity. Steam releases another, CS. Oh, there you go. That's kind of the way they do it, right? Hey, did you hear about this? So, okay. Vivek Ramaswamy was doing a live Twitter space with Elon, with the Tate brothers. It's like, and Alex Jones and stuff. And apparently he left his phone on in his pocket when he went to go pee. And so everybody heard him pissing, which is kind of hilarious. And he took it on the chin. He did a good job of kind of like brushing it off. So that being said, apparently somebody was actually arrested last week after threatening to assassinate him. So do you ever get those like political text messages on your phone where you just minding your own business, going through your day at work, and you get a text message and it's from some random person and you may not have even heard of them because you haven't gotten your ballot yet and you haven't thought about voting recently. And then you get a text message asking for your vote for a certain candidate. And you're like, what the hell is this? How'd they get my number, right? I have sent back some really funny responses. I've sent back some really sarcastic ones. I've never threatened to kill anybody. So I don't know what genius this was. I don't know if they were serious. I don't know if they were just mentally deranged. But some dude, suspect, a 30-year-old guy named Tyler Anderson, was reported to police by the Republican presidential hopeful's staff last week after he allegedly responded to one of the campaign's texts about an upcoming campaign event. Ramaswamy's spokeswoman said, "We're grateful to law enforcement for their swiftness and professionalism in handling this matter and pray for the safety of all Americans." So Mr. Ramaswamy was not identified specifically in this complaint, but details match up with the event held in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on Monday morning. His campaign also confirmed he was the target of a threat. So apparently Mr. Anderson allegedly referred to him in a response to a text invitation to the event saying, another opportunity for me to blow Ramaswamy's brains out. The dude probably, I don't think he's crazy. I think this guy thought these text messages weren't like moderated or checked. Like maybe he thought that people don't actually reply, or that if you reply, it doesn't actually go anywhere. He said, "I'm going to kill everyone who attends and then F their corpses," a second message said. Okay, maybe he is a little mental. I don't know. I've gotten some crazy responses from people on Twitter. This is the kind of stuff that you start to worry about. The text messages, which had been deleted, oh yeah, like that's going to do anything, were found after law enforcement seized Mr. Anderson's phone during a search of his home on Saturday. Miss McLaughlin's statement concluded, "We're going to let the investigators do their work and figure out who this person is and what their motives might be." Their motives are they don't like Vivek very much. If that's not clear already. It says, "I will, however, say this. We constantly hear about January 6th and violence and extremism on the right from the media, but the same media goes silent when targets a Republican." Hey, that is very true. There's a few instances of that which are like blindingly obvious. Deranged voices and left-wing cranks continue to demonize Republicans and question our loyalty to the country. It's no wonder that fanatics will take action. And that's true. Media only reporting one side, it doesn't matter which side it is, media reporting on only one side of a story does tend to cause people on the other side to freak out, unfortunately. Or people on the supporting side to freak out if all they're hearing is, all these people are Nazis and they hate you and they want to kill you. It's like, yeah, you're going to create some left-wing lunatics. Same goes for the right side as well. It's like it goes either way. When all you take in is like negativity and like extremist rhetoric from the media, this goes back to the thing I was talking about before about, are you complicit in committing a crime if all you do is say something and somebody else acts on it? I have a hard time with that. For me, again, it's a massive gray area because, yes, if you threaten somebody, you're liable for your threat. Okay, there can be penalties for threatening someone, sure. But if you say something that can be misconstrued and somebody else acts on it, where do you draw the line between personal responsibility? Clearly, in this case, this guy's responsible for himself. I don't care if he's watching CNN or InfoWars or whatever this guy's watching. I don't care what it is. He's responsible for the text messages that he sent back to Ramaswamy's camp. But at what point do you say the media plays a role in brainwashing people to be more extreme, to create extremists, to basically create more extremists by constantly funneling like fear porn and skewed statistics and only focusing on like a small percentage of people in order to sell? I mean, they say if it bleeds, it leads. And that's entirely what the news does, is they focus on a hyper-sensationalized part of society. And in doing that, they create more extremism. And again, I'd be viewed as an extremist by most people simply because of the fact that I want my country to have borders and I'd like to know who's in it. That's it. Like that's where for me my extremism ends and begins. Minimal immigration if possible, vet the people, make sure we have the best people coming over when they do immigrate, and protect our borders and spend more time focused on our own country than we do on the rest of the freaking world, you know? But for some reason that makes me an extremist. Like I'm probably on a list somewhere just for saying those things. Very common sense 90s Democrat positions, which is crazy because I've never been a Democrat. But that's how far like the left wing has gone at this point. Oh man. I had some other stuff I wanted to recap, but I think that's been kind of the majority of the important stuff that's happened this weekend. Let me see if there's anything I missed real quick here. Dude, everybody's talking about the day before, which, to be honest, it's crazy that somebody can get away with this. I mean, Steam has got to be accountable at some point for what they've done. Think about it this way, because there's other games that are scams on Steam. And hell, in fact, there's a few. There was one that I heard about that was like $1,000 to download, and people are like, oh, this has got to be a scam, right? Games like, I don't know if you've ever heard of that game, World War III? That at least they went from being like a $20 early release, early access to $15 closed beta to where the game is actually free now and it's terrible. People hate it. But for a while, people were thinking that game was a scam. There just seems to be a lot of games on Steam that are intentionally allowed to exist despite the high probability that they are nothing but a scam. It's crazy. So, you know, just like talking about personal accountability versus accountability for your words, your actions, and all that, where is Steam going to be held accountable for allowing games to be sold on their platform that then close down within 2 or 3 days? Like, where's the accountability there? You played World War III for a solid 2 months. Did it ever get any better? Because, dude, the reviews on that game are so mixed, it's not even funny. And then Clean, one of the bigger Escape from Tarkov streamers. In fact, let me look for it, because I think I might have it on my wish list. I don't know. Did I? No, I have it for free now. Okay. Where are the reviews on this game? So it says recent reviews mostly positive. I have 680, but 53,000 mixed reviews. In the past 30 days, somebody had 11 hours, not recommended. Said they made it free without any compensation to the people who paid at least nothing. I saw plus the game is dead. I can't find a lobby. Oh, that's sad. So again, I wouldn't call this game a scam. I've seen it. It's playable. Doesn't mean it's good, but it's playable. But dude, there are so freaking many games on Steam that are straight up scams, and they're just allowed to exist. And I don't know what Steam is ever going to do about it. I don't know if they can do anything about it. I don't know what their terms and conditions are when allowing a game to be sold. It's just sad, dude. It's sad to see gaming in such a bad situation. Like, dude, I am all torn up over Insurgency's studio getting shut down. I was really holding out hope that I was going to get a new Insurgency game, because Insurgency is my go-to game. That is my shit. It was okay for what it was. It was in a period the boys and I needed a game. Call of Duty is shit. Yeah. Call of Duty's pronouns are definitely is shit. Battlefield was bad. Battlefield still is bad, isn't it? Apex Max is out at 3, so for the time it was enjoyable but not breathtaking. Yeah, you know, honestly, that's how most games are for me, dude. Like, I've got such limited time. See, like, okay, instead of doing a live stream tonight, if I was going to have time to play a game, it would have been make a video for my other channel and play a game for an hour or half an hour or whatever. And that'd be my night. And then there'll be nights where I don't have time at all for a game. I just, you know, work on some stuff on my computer and go to bed. So for me, like, a game has to be really, 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 really good for me to spend my time playing it. And so Insurgency, especially since they added it to console and they put it on Game Pass, there's a new crop of people playing Insurgency that are brain dead. They don't know how to play the game, and I'm not like amazing at it, but I'm upper middle of the pack, upper part of the scoreboard, typically, unless I have a really bad night. But Insurgency at least has an active player base, and you see a lot of the same people, and it's a lot of fun, and the game's gameplay is great. All the different game modes are awesome. With games like Day Before, they completely sold it as a bill of goods. They were saying MMO, you know, RPG kind of elements and extraction and looting and tons of people and zombies everywhere and all this crap. And dude, if you watch the gameplay, this thing, hot mess. But yeah, so for me personally, like the games I would go to in my library, because my library is not huge, I still have to download Spider-Man, dude. I haven't even downloaded it yet. And I know it's a great game, I just haven't had time. Dude, yeah, Insurgency for me, that's my go-to. And I don't even care. Like, my friends, the guy who gifted it to me, Matt, he doesn't even play PvP. He plays, like, the hardcore PvE servers. I love the PvP. I got into that about 6 months ago, and that's all I play is PvP on there. So, games that I absolutely play the most, I wish I could play 7 Days to Die. I just don't care. Like, I watched a streamer play it for years. Looked great. Looked interesting. I just can't do it on my own. So it's just not interesting, you know? Arma 3. Bought it, played it one time. I wish I could find a group of guys to play it with. It seems like a lot of fun. I just don't have the time. Chivalry. Chivalry is great to play once in a while. You want to hack some heads. But it's not like something that I'm going to spend hours and hours playing. Choo Choo Charles. Fantastic game, but it's a once and done kind of game. Spider-Man 2 was not worth buying a PS5 like you did. Dude, okay, and people will say that you're just a hater for saying that it's mid. But honestly, that's what it seems like the majority of people are saying, you know? Hunt Showdown, another game that I wish I had the time to get into. GTFO, same story. Marauders, same story. I love the extraction shooters. I just don't have the time. I don't even play Escape from Tarkov anymore. And I had one season where I got to like level 22 or something on there. I just don't have the time for it. Little Nightmares, actually, for a free game, that was a pretty fun playthrough. Only took about 4 hours. New World. I played it for like 3 weeks. Thought it was interesting. I'll probably play it when I have some downtime after Christmas, when I'm home a little bit more often, maybe working from home, if I ever do that. But Space Engineers seemed like fun. I played it like twice. RE4, the original, a little too dated for me, no matter how much I love the game. Hunter Call of the Wild's a lot of fun if you're just like sitting in the forest and shooting at animals. But honestly, Insurgency and Valheim, I mean, Elden Ring, don't get me wrong, Elden Ring I put like 140 hours on. But I haven't had the itch to play it again. So then there's like the Nintendo games, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, things that I totally, absolutely love. I still have to finish Tears of the Kingdom. I'm working on it. I know I'm probably over 100 hours on that game. I'm doing all the side stuff before I finish it. But like for me personally, I have to really love a game to dedicate the time. Because I don't have that kind of time anymore. It would be one thing if I was one of these guys that was being paid to stream video games and I could sit at a computer 8 hours a day. Of course, that's the ideal. That's the absolute best way to go. That doesn't happen for 99% of people. And I'm not about to quit my job and go into debt to be a video game streamer. Like, sorry, no, I'm not doing that. My wife will murder me probably. All right, I think that was it. I just wanted to get on here and do a quick catch up. I know the stream was a hot mess. Getting everything lined up took me way longer than I thought because I had absolutely no time to do it. Counter-Strike and Hearthstone. Dude, have you looked at the finals? That's a new Battle Royale co-op shooter game I saw somebody playing. Yeah, you know, and honestly, I have no hate for Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year. Personally, the Game of the Year awards don't mean anything to me anyways. And I get it. Tears of the Kingdom was a great game. For me, it was the Game of the Year. It just didn't do anything that different than Breath of the Wild. And it was the same map, even though they added the sky and the underworld part of it. Hey, Tucker, baby. Cat walked in the room yelling. You'll probably see him on the camera there in a second. Yeah, he's coming over to pester his sister. Tucker, she's sleeping, buddy. Oh, he's giving her a bath. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see. Nah, my stupid microphone's in the way. There you go. Dude, she's trying to sleep. Imagine being a cat. Yeah, I hadn't even seen videos about it, dude. I had heard of it, and then I saw people playing it. And I'm like, okay, another shooter. Like, for me, Insurgency it hits the spot so well that I just can't even, I don't know. I can't even be bothered to try a different shooter, you know? Hey, Tucker, baby. You little fat cat. Dude, my cat's like 12 pounds. I don't know if you can tell in the camera because he's out of focus, but like he is monster. Oh, no, man. So, okay. Tucker, the big guy here, is looking at us. This is my cat. His sister, Ivy, was my mom's cat. So she was always out of town, and we were all constantly bringing her back over here so she wasn't by herself the whole time. So we ended up adopting her, so now I have 2 cats. But Ivy's personality is very different from Tucker. She is odd. He is a dude. He's like, he eats, he's a chunk. Oh no, he's for real a chunker, dude. But you know, honestly, he's active. He's always running around. He acts like a maniac. He's going crazy most of the time running around the house. And he's always chasing her around. He pesters the crap out of his sister. But you know, she loves him. She puts up with him. She doesn't like being pet unless it's on her terms. She has to be in the right mood. I don't know. It's like her personality changed after she got fixed. But he's just like, okay, if somebody walks in the front door, he's like, all right, pet me. I don't care who you are. You got a treat, you got food, that's great. So now if we get pizza, all right, we get pizza and I sit on the couch watching TV or something, the cat, he finds me, he gets up and he starts like trying to eat my pizza right off the slice of pizza. He thinks with his stomach. But yeah, he's a big boy. He is the biggest cat I've ever had. And I thought he was going to get bigger. Because he is not just, you know, heavy. He's a good-sized cat. Definitely the biggest cat I've ever owned. Not anything close to a Maine Coon. God, I want a Maine Coon someday. Those cats are like the size of a dog. Freaking awesome. All right, dude, I'm going to hit the hay. I managed to actually live stream, which is impressive, seeing as the weeks before this that I had the opportunity, I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the time, and I just talked myself out of it. So I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream next Monday. I'll be on, maybe doing a couple of game streams just because I can do it super chill. But I do have my brother coming in from out of town. Sunday, I got colonoscopy prep, so I'm going to be draining my intestines out all day on Sunday, and then a 10 a.m. colonoscopy on Monday, and my brother gets into town on Sunday. So odds are Monday night we're probably going to grab dinner after my procedure. But that being said, like, I probably won't be out late. I might just hop on and do a stream anyways, if I feel up to it. Again, that's a big if. Again, not eating the day before, crapping your intestines out, and then having them dope you up so they can stick a camera up your butt. It kind of takes your energy level down. It's exhausting. This will be my 3rd time in the last 3 years I've done it. So as long as I don't have colon cancer, I'm happy, right? There are definitely worse things that could happen. All right. Anyways, dude, I'm going to hit the hay. Thanks for hanging. Hopefully, like I said, fingers crossed I'll be on next Monday. And otherwise, I'll be doing some live streams, just doing some games and whatnot. Night, dude. Take it easy. Hope things are going all right for you. And again, you ever need anything, just shoot me a message on Discord, dude.